if we were just going to expand this topic, what else has Allah said about Khilafat, maybe, the types of Khilafat as well?
Right, so Father, in the Holy Quran, there is a mention of 3 main categories of Khilafat.
Right.
And I'll quickly go through them and I'll try and give an example to explain it further. So the first type of Khalifas which are mentioned in the Holy Quran are actually prophets themselves. So prophets of Allah the Almighty, who Allah has appointed Himself, and they are representatives of Allah the Almighty on earth. For example, Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, Prophet Adam, he was a prophet, but he was called a Khalifa in the Holy Quran as well. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi Khalifa. Allah said, I am about to place a Khalifa on the earth. So he was a prophet, but he was also called a Khalifa. So this is the first type. Then, if we come on to the second type of Khalifas which are mentioned in the Holy Quran, they too are also prophets. However, they are successors of another greater type of prophet. Right. And I'll give an example to make this clearer. For example, Prophet Moses came with the Shariat, right? He was a law-bearing prophet. Then under him, all the Israelite prophets that came, they were all subordinate prophets. And so they were his successors.
They were the Khulafa of...
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the third type
and
of prophet...
course, just before you go, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad would also come within this category.
So in the same way, Prophet Jesus والسلام, he was a non-law-bearing prophet. He came under the law, the Mosaic law. Right. The same way the promised Messiah والسلام, he was a non-law-bearing prophet. He came under the law of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Right. So that's the second type. Now if we move on to the third type of Khalifas, now the first 2 types I mentioned were prophets, right? Now the third type are non-prophets, they're not prophets. However, they are also divinely commissioned to carry on the mission of the Prophet. For example, the Khilafat Rashida that continued after the Holy Prophet ﷺ, Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Usman, Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhum, they were of course Khulafa, however they were not prophets. And of course similarly Khilafat Ahmadiyya that continued after the promised Messiah ﷺ. This is an example of the third type of Khalifas which are mentioned in the Holy Quran.